how bittersweet is this weekend?
Yeah, obviously bittersweet. Not the 3 days that we planned and what we hoped for. But again, I think that almost showcased how brutal the game of sevens is. I think if you don't pitch up and you're not clinical in every area of the game, then you get punished for it. And I think that was exactly that. And it's a pity that out of the 4 games, we only pitched up for the last one. So really proud for the fact that the guys responded to what was requested to them before that game. Yeah, amazing system. Unfortunately, we couldn't have the fairy tale ending that we all were hoping, but again, that's life. And I think I had 90% of ups, a few downs, which this one will probably be one of, and again, something that I won't blank out of my memory, but I will also remember that for what it was and for the special moments we had in the week and then over the weekend as well.
Was emotion maybe too much part of it, do you think, on reflection?
Sure, I think there was probably about 60% of this team that haven't played in Cape Town before. So I think the hype and the energy in the stadium is something that you need to get used to. And especially in South Africa, I mean, I know it's 55,000 and it's a World Cup and there's supporters from all different countries, but I think still a big portion of the supporters are South African supporters. So when you run out of that tunnel, you can almost feel the energy in the vibe. And I think it's hopefully something that the guys will manage better when they come back in December, and that will be without me.
Coach, you guys set a very high standard for yourself, and notably were visibly disappointed yesterday. I mean, we saw Ronald Brown sort of in tears post that match against Ireland. South African fans obviously were disappointed as well. You know, just your message to them as a parting shot. You know, there was the emotion and expectation, but yet again, in that final match now, that cheer is. It's almost as if that match was forgotten, and again that support is there. Amazing to see and have appreciated that support over the years.
Yeah, well, firstly, I would like to apologise to the fans. Obviously, disappointed them and ourselves as well, probably more than them. Like you rightfully said, I think we definitely set high standards for ourselves, and no one will be more disappointed than myself and the members of this management. Yeah, I think the guys really wanted to go out there in that last game and play for the fans that stayed and still supported us even through the tough times. And I think that's exactly what they did. Amazing performance from them in that last game against Samoa. We asked that of each other. It's the last of the last game for a new era. I think we even said it as well. There's 4 guys in that change room that would go on and play somewhere else next year. Saku's going to Griquas, JC's going to the Lions, Miller's going to Sharks, Andrew's going back to Western Province, and in South Africa this is probably his last as well. So a lot of emotions, and the request was that we just work for each other in that field in that last game and show what we're capable of, and do it for ourselves and the fans out there that stayed to keep supporting us through the tough times.
What are you most proud of, Neil? I mean, obviously there's big titles and wins. When you think back, what makes you most proud about what's been achieved in the last decade?
Yeah, I think from a human side, the accolades and the medals and the cups and the World Series and the Commonwealth Games golds will always be special. But I think what's also really special and near to my heart is the fact that some of the players that came through the system went on and become successful in their life after rugby. I don't want to mention names because there are a lot of them. I almost call them the class of 2016, the Carl Browns, and that school, Frankie Horn that was here this weekend as well, Philip Snyman, and you can name a lot of names and all the names out there. And I think they obviously to see where they've gone after the game, the people or the human being that they developed into, is just amazing, and that's something that will definitely last forever in my memories. But also the memories with that, the good times, the tough times, the dancing. Yeah, so all those memories will definitely stay with me until, well, the day that I go to the next life after this one.
Coach, earlier said obviously in first time to be forgotten about Lee Powell, about coach the Sevens. You wanted to still be better. In
done everything perfect, you're in the wrong place. So there's a lot of things that you could do better. Sometimes I probably could have prepared the team better for the position that they came up against. Sometimes I could have probably made them work a little bit harder. Obviously after this weekend there's a lot of thoughts on our preparation leading up to this tournament. So I think as a coach, if you ever get to a place where you think you're okay, then you're in trouble. You've got to keep growing, keep developing, keep learning, and that's exactly what I will do, especially with this new challenge going on to the Sharks. And I think the main decision was based on my family and having, well, hopefully we'll spend more time with the family and not travel that much. And then also for my own personal growth and for my professional career to grow as a coach. And yeah, like I said, I think a lot of things that we probably could have done better. And I will be the first person to acknowledge that. But yeah, I think again a lot more positives than negatives. And I'm happy and honoured to have been part of this system for the last 15 years. It's an amazing system to be part of.
Neil, if you had to give your successor any words of advice, which direction would you point it?
Stay away from social media. Yeah, listen, and it's a tough job, and I think a lot of people's opinions does affect your focus and what you think of yourself, your system, and your team. And I think it's just to listen to the right people, get somebody outside the system that's not part of the success or part of the failure, that can give you perspective. Because I think in times of failure and in times of success, you tend to lose perspective. And I would almost say that success is more dangerous than failure. So it's important for you to have somebody that's just to keep you honest and keep giving you that perspective that you need to keep you grounded and humble.
Neil, kan ek dit in Afrikaans antwoord advies vir jou volker asseblief?
Ja, ek dink soos ek gesê het, bly weg van sosiale media af. Mense se opinies beïnvloed definitief hoe jy oor jouself dink, hoe jy oor die span dink en hoe jy oor die stelsel dink. En ek dink wat belangrik ook is dat jy vir jouself 'n mentor kan kry wat jou so half kan bestuur. Ten tye van wanneer jy suksesvol is op tye wat dit nie so goed gaan nie. Ek dink jy verloor baie perspektief. En partykeer is jy alleen in 'n kamer in Vancouver waar jy basies niemand rondom jou het waarmee jy kan gesels nie. So is altyd goed om so iemand te hê om net weer vir jou te sê, hoor jy, bly net glo in jou sisteme, bly glo in die goed wat jou en die stelsel suksesvol gemaak het. Want dit het al self bewys in die verlede. So ja, ek dink moeilike werk, partykeer eensame werk, maar 'n ongelooflike geseënde werk om te hê.
Coach Neil, you spoke about the moments and memories you've been here. Could you tell us specifically which one stands out for you? Because you're obviously being very long with it, but which one really stands out for you as your best highlight or your best moment?
Yeah, I think, well, firstly as a player, the World Series win, the first ever tournament win that we had in Wellington when Chester Williams was still the coach and Paul was the captain. That was special. There was an injury. I wasn't initially part of that team and then flew into Wellington to replace somewhere I can't remember who got injured. So that was special, the very first World Series tournament win for South Africa. Then the World Series win in 2009 under Coach Paul. John Delistik was the captain of that season. So amazing memory as well. Then basically my coaching career, I can still remember my first South African tournament in PE. I think that Thursday before we played that tournament, Mr. Mandela passed away, and almost again that expectation because we played at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. I can remember the emotions that went through me that Thursday. I think we lost Cheslin Colby, not lost him, but he got injured in a defence session that Thursday as well. So quite a bit of pressure, and I think as the coach, all that pressure just almost became too much for me, and I had a bit of emotion in my own room that day. Then won that tournament, which was unbelievably special in Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. I think the two Commonwealth Games gold medals were special for different reasons, both of them. And then the first World Series win as a coach, and I think the other one that was special was that basically World Series won in the very last game against England in Paris, where Fiji lost in a quarterfinal and then made it possible for us to still win the World Series by winning that.
Just the Sharks, you're obviously moving to Sharks, expectations.
Okay. No, sorry, Morgan. Yeah, Coach, you mentioned the 4 or 5 players that are heading off after this weekend. Do you think the system, the foundations are there in the Sevens system to continue and sustain the success, not only after you've gone, but also after those 4 or 5 very talented players have gone?
Yeah, listen, I think any transition for any system is a challenging one. I think, yes, I think there are systems in place and structures in place for it to continue. Obviously, with personnel leaving and players leaving, it's always going to be a bit tricky. But from my side, if there's anything that I can help them with in terms of the transition, that I'll be glad to. But yeah, there's a few quality players that's leaving JC, Saku, and then Miller to Plessis and Angie that's going back to Western Province. So it is quite a big chunk of almost the more senior players. And to be brutally honest, I think it will be a rebuilding phase for Springbok Sevens and to almost build again to the Olympics in 2 years from now.
Coach, Southern Afrikaans.
No, sorry. So, Coach, the Federation is going to announce your successor in the next couple of days. How involved have you been in that process?
Yeah, I think again it's a bit above my pay grade. Obviously, I got asked my opinion and I gave them my opinion. But again, that's fortunately or unfortunately not a decision that lies with myself. So yes, I think it's the successor as the right person, and he's going to take Springbok Sevens to the next level of where we can go. So yeah, like I said, I think that's a decision that's get taken at the Exco executive board and above my pay grade. But they did ask my opinion who I think will be the best successor.
Coach, in Afrikaans, jou rol natuurlijk was om ander spelers te leer, maar vir jou persoonlik oor die 9 jare as afrigter, wat vir jou is die belangrijkste wat jy kon verleer?
Sure, ek dink dit wat ek so al gesê het wat die raad was vir die suksesser. Ek dink die tye van wanneer jy misluk het of die tye van sukses en al twee het so half sy eie, ek wil nie sê daai demons is verkeerde woord, dit klink baie sleg, maar elkeen het sy eie goed wat jy so half distract en jou fokus verloor. So daai dink ek was baie goeie les wat ek geleer het, veral in sevens waar jy weet jy moet nou verloor en dan oor 2 ure moet jy die volgende wedstryd speel en jy moet hom wen om in 'n kwartfinale aan te kom. Ek dink daai druk wat onder jy funksioneer en dan kan jy nie uit druk aan die spelers oordra nie. Jy weet jy moet maar jou mombakkies opsit en 'n smaal op jou gesig sit en maak asof hulle die beste span in die wêreld is en dat hulle as hulle die goed reg kry, die span met 30 punte gaan klop. So ek dink baie keer moet jy maar goed wegsteek vir spelers, jy moet jou eie pyn baie keer wegsteek en jou eie teleurstelling en hulle probeer opbou en ek dink hierdie naweek was weer een van daai gevalle gewees, jy weet, en baie keer jy weet kry jy dit reg of baie keer kry jy dit nie reg nie. Ja, ek dink daar was baie uitdagings. Ek dink tegnies gewys en takties gewys is daar ook ongelooflike klomp uitdagings. En iemand het so half raak gesê het, is om weer te sê, jy weet, skaak is amper soos menslike skaak, of sewe is amper soos menslike skaak, jy weet, jy speel teen 'n span en jy wys 1 of 2 goedjies en dan volgende keer as hulle teen jou speel, dan counter hulle dit weer. So, dis interessant hoe die spanne aanpas en dan weer terugkom met antwoord op dit wat jy in die wedstryd gedoen het. So, om so half een stapie voor te bly, is ook een van die goeders wat ek dink as 'n afrigter veel belangrik is.
Neil, dan net laastens, die 7de plek. Baie is gesê oor die formaat van die wêreldbeker volgens jou, waar dink jy vir die BLITZBOKS in die naweek? Well,
obviously Ierland nee, speel sommer. Ek dink ons het bietjie rou ingekom in hierdie toernooi. Ek dink nie genoeg wedstrydtyd nie genoeg die 12 ouens saam gespeel voor ons gekom het nie. Ek dink dalk het Chili se wen ons 'n bietjie vals hoop gegee vir dit wat ons teen Ierland moes doen het. Maar ook ek dink net ons was nie klinies genoeg nie. Ek dink in al twee daai wedstryde wat ons verloor het, verdedigingsgewys van baie tackles afgeval waar teen Samoa wat eintlik 'n baie fisiese span is, dit nie gebeur het nie. So dis amper so 'n mental focus wat ons nie gehad het in daai eerste 2 wedstryde wat ons verloor het nie. En dan op aanval waar ons gewoonlik baie klinies is ons geleenthede vat het, ons net ons geleenthede gevat het veral teen Ierland. So en weer eens dis weer 'n klomp goed. Ek dink dit is amper meer 'n mental uitdaging as enigiets anders waar 'n ou waar ons in die verlede baie goed was om konstant te wees of bestendig te wees in ons vertonings. Dink ek het ons so 'n bietjie nog op die staat op ons spelers se sukses so 'n bietjie staat gemaak wat nie eintlik so moet wees nie. So ek dink ons het so 'n bietjie nog half probeer ry, maar elke toernooi is 'n toernooi op sy eie en jy moet van voor af jou innings begin bou en hard begin werk. Die formaat, ja, dit is brutal. Ek weet in die pool stages as jy een game verloor kan jy nog steeds in die kwartfinale rondkom en daar's al baie spanne wat dan 'n toernooi gewen het, al het hulle in die groepstadium 'n game verloor. So die formaat maak dit moeilik, maar almal is op dieselfde, jy weet, speel onder dieselfde formaat. Nieu-Seeland is nie anders as ons of Australië of Fiji nie. En ek dink ja, as jy weet Sevens is 'n moeilike game wat as jy hulp nie jou kant toe gaan nie of een kol nie jou kant toe gaan nie, dan kan jy nie moeilikheid wees, maar ek dink die kwaliteitsspanne kan bo dit uitstyg as hulle klinies genoeg is en goed genoeg speel.
Thank you.
Dankie.